Oops.
Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Good morning. Good morning. I skipped my intro. I was like, wait a minute.
Everybody does that. It's okay.
Thanks, Judge. How are you guys doing this morning? Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday hump day.
Sorry.
Just as a reminder, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have our Patreon Live where we're going to be going over Corey Richins. Corey Richins, the fentanyl killer. Who just got done? Who just left lawyer you know? Raise your hand. Who just left lawyer you know going over the new Koberger documents? Raise your hand. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Shell. Good to see you, Miss Mimi. Hello, Robin. Who else do we have up in here? Mike Sanner. Mike Sanner, you are the best. Mike Sanner puts up with all of us chicks around here. He's so patient with us. Hello, Jammers. Hello, Melissa B. and Serial Killer. Good morning with your coffee, Megan L. Allison Beatty. We got Casey Marie, 1111. It's good numbers there. Fem, what's up? Good morning, Mandy. Who else did I miss? If I missed you, I'm sorry. Casper, what's up, Casper the friendly ghost? I love that. Mandy caught the tie-dye shirt. Hello, Olive. Hey, Black Knight. I was actually watching him, and hey, Jessica. And I saw someone in the chat say, I love the Sherbert tie-dye. And I thought to myself, this dude's got it made. He could wear anything, and the women would love it. Anything. I think his tie-dye says, like, what's up, guys, or something, and everybody's, I love the Sherbert shirt. What's up, Mike D's? How are my nerds this morning? Punani, we've missed you. I hope you're doing okay. The gang is all here. It looks like. Hey, what's up, Kels? I found my old J is for Justice shirt. I'm going to have to put some of these in the store, which brings me to our first thing. We're going to talk about the new merch. What are you talking about? You like that? I'll put that in there. But let me show you real quick the new merch site. If you guys have not seen it. I'm going to give you a little tour. All you have to do is go to J4J411.live, okay? So when you go there, and I want to show you guys what it consists of. This is what you get. So we're live right now. So this is going to be, you can press play, and you don't have to miss the live like this. Some of these in the store, which brings me to our first. So you can go over here, and then there's like the tip section over here, and you can choose one time or monthly, like that. And then down here we have like all the different social sites. Okay, and then the leading board on who's donated, and then some videos. But right here is where you're gonna. Well, actually, you can go back. So up here at the top. I don't know if you guys can see that drop down. Let me move this over. Bear with me for a sec. Okay, see that drop down up there? That's where you're going to be able to go like CloudBot. And then that's going to show you all the things you can use in the chat. All the commands. And then if you go to merch, that's where you're going to find all the merch. I think. Here's one of the cups. Why is it only showing one thing? I can't even figure out my own store. Oh, visit store. What the heck? Anyways, you go there and you can get to the store somehow. Hopefully it works for you. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Here's the other shiz down here. There's mugs. There's $20 t-shirts. And you guys can check all that out. So I'm always going to have an array of $20 t-shirts because I know times are tight. And who's got money for merch? But if you want to buy something, I'll always have $20 tees. So check it out. I'm sure it'll work for you. Hello, Paper Chaser. Good morning. So we've got like J is for donuts. We've got the classic logo. We've got tie-dye. I've got 4 different kinds of tie-dyes. Come on now. Sherbert included. If I could get Lawyer You Know to model it, I might sell some.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's get into today's stream. And first, we're going to talk about this missing vessel, okay? It should not reject you, Flo. I don't know why it's rejecting you. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, everyone just coming in. We're going to be talking about the vessel that is missing, what this vessel's like, what it looks like inside, and what the latest is, because they heard some kind of 30-minute increment sounds. But let's talk about what it means to even go in this thing, okay? Oh, I love tie-dye too, and there's some really cool tie-dyes in there. There's traditional, and then there's kind of like blue ones, and yeah, there's some cool ones. There's 4 different ones, so check them out. And they're embroidered, actually. The Nerf vessel, right? Okay, so this thing kind of reminds me, and when Potato told me this morning, we were talking, that it's built by NASA, okay? And I was like, oh my God. It's like the first moon rover thingy with the foil. You know, like the ham wrapped in foil. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So apparently NASA designed this sub. And it looks like a Nerf thing. But it kind of reminds me of this right here. Like just kind of how it looks hokey. Like it doesn't even look like it would do what it's supposed to do. So here's the moon thing that obviously NASA designed for the first moonwalk. Okay. And we're going to zoom in on it. And I'm going to show you what I mean by the ham foil. I don't know how this foil right here would survive like the atmosphere. But if you look close, I'm going to zoom way in, man. Look, if you look close, it looks like like the foil that's wrapped in a ham. Yeah, and you control this sub with a PlayStation controller that's been reprogrammed. You can't make it up. I have no idea how the ham foil survived the trip through the atmosphere, but it did apparently. So this thing was designed by NASA, and we're going to go over it. And your comments crack me up. I'm trying to find a more close up of the actual foil on the feet of that rover. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Here it is. I found it. I found one. All right, this is for you. Literally ham foil. And it comes complete with a packet of glaze. Comes complete with a packet of brown sugar glaze. All right, so let's get... Oh, a ham foil hat. That's perfect, Mandy. Pass the sweet potatoes.
You're awesome.
That is so funny. Andrea Wallace. Thank you for subscribing, Andrea. Okay, let's get into this. We've got videos from this company. All right, this is straight from them. This one is called the Titanic Expedition Dive Experience 2023. And this is from Ocean Gate Expeditions 2 months ago. 2 months ago, they posted this. So let's take a look at what they say this is all about.
Ocean Gate Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a specially trained crew member safely diving to the Titanic wreckage site. Get ready for what Jules Verne could only imagine, a 12,500-foot journey to the bottom of the sea. It's the Ocean Gate Titanic Experience, earning raves from those who've taken our unforgettable dives.
There's no other trip like this. Fewer people have been to Titanic than have been to space.
It's tougher to go to the bottom of the ocean than it is to the far side of the moon. So we saw things that maybe human eyes have never seen before.
Wow.
This is not a thrill ride for tourists. It's much more. It is an 8-day, one-of-a-kind experience. You will be trained as a mission specialist and record valuable findings.
A citizen scientist is also involved in the science. They are doing jobs that are essential to the scientific research, not just busy work. We are looking at the process of degradation at the site. We are trying to make a really good map of the site and its current state.
This is not tourism. You're contributing.
It's not a ride at Disney, you know. There's a lot of real risk involved and there's a lot of challenges.
We partnered.
Okay, let's stop there for a second and let's break down what we've seen, okay? It sounds to me like they want to further their exploration of this Titanic thing, which I get, like the Titanic's really super interesting and stuff, but it sounds to me like they want these people to pay $250,000 in order to do this thing, but they're going to be doing things for the research. Like, you're going to be trained to be a researcher. This isn't Disney World. So weird. But they do say there's risks involved, but it seems like they're really hell-bent on the research for the Titanic. And it's like, are they like going over the top with this? I mean, they have like 8K video of the Titanic wreckage already. What more do they want? Like what more do they need from it?
A really good map of the site and its current state.
This is not tourism. You're contributing.
It's not a ride at Disney, you know. There's a lot of real risk involved and there's a lot of challenges.
We partnered with aerospace experts at the University of Washington, NASA, and Boeing on the design of our hull.
Every time you take to the sea, you know, there's so many things that have to go right.
They might want to take this down because what does this say about NASA, Boeing? I mean, they can't find the son of a bitch. These are the best of the best companies.
All the electrical systems and navigation systems that have to check out. This is a very complex vehicle.
Titan topside, you are out at 130 meters. We are in position for the dive.
It's very well engineered and very safe, and the team is very focused on safety first.
The communication is really key, I think, knowing that they never lost communication.
Not 1 second of me experiencing anything from Ocean Gate have I ever felt unsafe.
As I pointed out on the bridge earlier, your safety plans all around the vessel.
All mission specialists get to dive down to the Titanic, but the full experience entails much more. It begins with boarding day in picturesque St. John's, Newfoundland. Mission specialists meet each other in the Ocean Gate team.
Everybody here.
Look, they have a nice little breakfast buffet before you go out on the sub. It's like coffee hour. Check it out. Awesome stuff. This looks awesome. This looks almost too good to be true. I don't know how anybody could stay away from this if you had the money.
They're in the Ocean Gate team.
Everybody here instantly became family. And that's something that you take away for life.
Prep starts before dawn with initial safety checks, reviewing assignments, and gearing up. Then comes the pre-launch briefing, followed by boarding the Titan. Inside the surface vessel is Command Central. There, Ocean Gate operatives and specialists not diving that day are
Okay, this is ground zero here. This is the control area, okay? Wait till you see the guy sitting in this seat like he's gaming. Watch.
by the mission director before countdown to launch.
Roger, platform ready to dive.
Mission directors go for platform launch.
This was actually my very first time. That was the first time that I'd been inside a sub, and it was really kind of a wonderful experience.
And you know you are in the deep, but you don't feel it.
So they brought a social media influencer. He went on this. Alan Estrada.
It's your big day. It is my big day. How are you feeling? Very excited.
To softly land like that with just a little puff of debris was movie-like. It was sort of dramatic in front of me playing out, and it was breathtaking. So it's very emotional.
For mission specialists not aboard the Titan sub, there's a full calendar of things to do.
This looks fun.
Lectures, screenings, tours of the ship's vast resources, including the engine rooms and recovery apparatus. Maybe best of all are the one-on-ones with experts like Commander Paul-Henri Nargelet, leader of 30 dives to the Titanic wreck site. He and other world-class experts will be on all our missions to give you an unrivaled, up-close and personal Ocean Gate Titanic experience.
The sub, for me, it's very well done because it's simple. Generally, they have a lot of equipment and a lot of switch. And on this one, you don't have because you work with a screen and with a keyboard. And
so there's no switches, he says. He says it's very simple. No switches, you work with a screen. So is their screen working? Have we heard anything about that?
it's very easy to do that. You are not only a passenger seat and waiting that the time is running and just looking outside. You can do something inside. You can be really a member of the team, and that's great.
Even after a successful dive, there is much to be done. A key element is the debrief session led by the mission director and subsea pilot. Simultaneously, the Ocean Gate tech team does an extensive safety check for the next dive. Excitement, thrills.
Wait, how often do they throw these in the water, I wonder? Look at this. Why is it? What the fuck? Did they give away like fake rose necklaces? Did you guys see the antenna when it came out of the water? It was like, do they even have their antenna? This is actually really terrifying. This looks terrifying to me. Terrifying. Yes, it is Ocean Gate.
Thrills. And adventure on the high seas.
I just loved every minute of it.
It has exceeded anything I thought it could ever be.
Titanic is the ultimate dream.
I mean, this is definitely probably one of the most unique, interesting things I've ever done. Even going to, I've been to Everest. But this is more unique.
This was a dream come true. But as I look back, this will no doubt be the best experience of my entire life.
Come join us on our next expedition. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of history. The Ocean Gate Titanic experience. There's truly nothing else like it.
Okay, that's their Ocean Gate expeditions, like commercial, I guess. But we have another one from them. And it's going to be, let me see. There's one that shows the inside of that thing, you guys. And if you're claustrophobic, it might bother you. Is it this one? Hang on. Let's see. A viewport to Titanic. I think it's this one. Okay, this was done. This was actually uploaded 4 months ago.
The majestic bow of Titanic looms out of the darkness as our submersible rises, slowly.
All right, hold on. I'm not going to play all of this. I thought this is the one they showed the inside. This must be just where they show the Titanic.
Window.
I mean, they've gotten some amazing video of the Titanic. There's no doubt about it. Where the hell is that video? Oh, I think this is it. I found it.
Does it feel real, like you're going to the Titanic tomorrow?
It all felt a lot more real than it ever has when they're like, okay, Chelsea, your dive team 1, you're going tomorrow. It was like, because this thing that you wait your whole life for, that you've been trying to do for 13 years, and then the day is like, it's tomorrow. It's a very overwhelming rush of emotion and excitement, and like have all these years to prepare, and then it hits here and it all kind of sinks in. You're like, okay, don't forget this, don't forget that.
Of Titanic.
This is inside this thing. They're inside this little ass thing with one porthole. And I'm sorry that the site isn't working. I'll check that out, Melissa. Thank you for letting me know. Hey, Pink Banjo. But yeah, this is the inside of it. There's a toilet by the porthole. So if you're just saying, masty, just masty. Can you imagine? I don't even want to talk about it, but just imagine it.
Titanic. What's going through your head right now?
Happiness, joy, all the emotions.
It's not the right one. That wasn't the right one. There's one. I thought I saved it. There was one that actually shows the inside. Did they take it down? Check this out.
What did you get to do on the dive today?
I got to pilot, which was fantastic.
There it is.
What was the coolest part of the dive for you?
Jellyfish.
I can't with how dramatic these videos are. Is that thing? I want to see inside the... You'll see the porthole. Okay, that's the porthole from inside this thing. There's one of them. Right, you couldn't even pay me $250,000 to go in the damn thing. It's so scary down there. I mean, this is it, guys. This is what they're in. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, this is terrible. It's a horrible accident. But to play devil's advocate, they're doing something super dangerous. It's kind of like when someone goes to, Costa Rica and they go zip lining, they sign a consent. And if that zip line breaks, I mean, or if something happens, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like the depths of the ocean are just something you don't mess with. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like you don't mess with nature down there, because there's things down there that we don't even know all that's down there. Like, there's things down there we don't even know of yet. They lost contact after only an hour and a half. I guess I didn't realize it was that fast. I was just more interested in why people want to do this. So these people are all locked in, from what I understand. It's all bolted. So even if they do, like, surface, they can't get out. They're literally locked in there. I don't know how anybody could do that. I'm claustrophobic enough sitting in an airplane with, you know, in the middle seat. I can't imagine 6 people or whatever it is. Is it 5 or 6 people in this little thing? There's got to be. I know I saw one of the inside. I know I did. The future of ocean exploration, Ocean Gate expeditions. Let's see if this is it.
We have discovered that oceans of water are common in our solar system. And I'm completely convinced that there will be a day when there are ocean explorers.
I think they have like 20 or 20 some hours of air left.
Titan and Enceladus and Pluto and all those ocean worlds out there that are just built for this technology. Yeah, I think it's
ooh, there's the inside.
Very different, but has parallels. It was fascinating throughout the whole process. Yeah, I think it's
there you go. And they sit on the floor. Like, there's no seats. They're sitting on the floor of this thing, like Indian style. 6 of them in the other video I saw.
Natural marriage. They're both real frontiers. They both involve specialized technologies. They are both, you know, romantically exciting, I think.
Romantically?
And they both are a scientific frontier as well. You know, at one level, the value of exploration is in teaching us new things scientifically and opening up.
There she is. There's the whole book of papers you got to fill out right there. She's signing her life away right now, but I just feel like if you choose to do this and you're like obviously really into the Titanic and you have the money and you want to do this, like, you kind of know the risk you're taking, which I think is kind of BS that there was like a 19-year-old on there. But I mean, if you want to do, you know, risky shit and be adventurous, I hate to say it, but that's the risk you take, right? I mean, it's unfortunate, but they also chose to do this and paid a freak of a lot of money to do it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try to find that out, Mandy. We'll try to look into that.
New possibilities economically.
I love how she's filling out the paperwork while she's already in the porthole.
But then there's the whole spiritual aspect to it and the personal achievement aspects to it. I think we're on a very fast ride now where exploration is going to open up new possibilities across the globe and across the cosmos for human beings. And I can't wait to see what the future brings.
This is science. It's experiments, just like anything else. And look at experiments. What happened? I mean, look at the first flights. People die. I mean, I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer, but when people choose to be scientists or do scientific experiments, they sometimes don't end so well. And that's all part of exploration and all of that stuff. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. But let's go over to here. This must be the one. Climb in. This submersible takes passengers to the Titanic wreck. Climb in. It can take 5 passengers to the Titanic on the ocean floor. You can pilot it with a gaming controller, and it has a toilet. Climb aboard Titan, a unique submarine used to explore the world's most famous shipwreck. I think these people are obsessed with the Titanic wreckage.
We are inside the submersible Titan, which is a carbon fiber and titanium sub.
Let's go over to our boob tube so we can have a bigger picture of this. Much better.
That can go to the depths of the Titanic. Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan.
That's the guy that's in it right now.
So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen.
So whoever said they have seats, no, they don't. This is it. I'm going to go back. We're going to watch again.
Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan. So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back. We've taken a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens. So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back.
Oh my
turn
God!
Left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board. Just.
Okay. I'm speechless. Speechless. First of all, this guy is on this thing right now. This dude is stuck in his own hell. He's in this thing. I wonder if those extra controllers are doing any good. I mean, Bluetooth? What if the Bluetooth connection fails? Do they have a corded backup? Who relies on Bluetooth when you're 36,000 miles under the sea? What? I think this deserves a huge what right now. What? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's go back. I'm going to go grab some coffee while you guys watch this. Look at him. 16. Look at his socks. He makes it look all cozy. Oh my God. This is insane.
Back, turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case. This is the second year we've been out to the Titanic. We went out in 5 8-day missions. We did about 10 dives to the wreck site of the Titanic, and we did an extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation, and we're funded by, we call mission specialists who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago, the Russians took tourists out to the Titanic, and it was just sort of a look and see thing. We really are focusing on the science around it. We want to document what the wreck is like now, and also try to predict what it'll be like in the future. It's continuing to decay, and it seems to be accelerating. It's being eaten by a bacteria, so it's literally being eaten by the ocean. It's not rusting away. So these things that are called rusticles are actually the byproduct of the bacteria that eats the iron. And as it does that, these decks are collapsing. The promenade deck continues to collapse forward. We saw some of the railing is starting to lose its structural strength, which is really a sad thing. That's when it's going to stop looking like the Titanic. The interest in the Titanic is the reason we go there, because people are willing to fund this kind of exploration and science.
See? People are willing to fund this kind of exploration and science. So to me, I think these people were like, hey, we don't have enough funding to do all we want to do. So let's start making it, an adventurous trip for rich people, because then rich people can give us their money and we can put it towards our exhibition plan that we have. So we can study rusticals and exhibitties. Exhibity. I don't know. The owners of this company might find themselves with some exhibitties if these people aren't found. Trixie! Stand up! Trixie says, wow, I lose signal to my XM stereo when I get close to a building in a drive-thru. I wouldn't trust Bluetooth down there. For real. For real. Oh, Shell, I made that one. I made a Mimi one for you. $250K to see some rusticals and to feel like you are super special, because it sounds to me like he will make you feel very special.
That gives a completely different research component that almost nowhere else in the deep ocean can you get funding to go back every year for decades and see how coral reefs develop and see how metals decay and see how currents change. I mean, that just, you can't justify that. No government will pay for that. Nobody wants to go back to just some old reef, but people do want to go back to the Titanic.
I'm sorry, I smell a rat here. I smell a rat. I feel like they're using the Titanic to make money off of people that are interested in the Titanic who may not truly understand the dangers of this or truly understand the risks of this. I don't know. This seems like a money grab. Listen to that part again.
Where else in the deep ocean can you get funding to go back every year for decades and see how coral reefs develop and see how metals decay and see how currents change? I mean, that just, you can't justify that. No government will pay for that. Nobody wants to go back to just some old reef, but people do want to go back to the Titanic, and that's why we go, is because people want to go.
Yeah, I think these people are just way too obsessed. It's troubling to me. All right, so now let's go to, I just want to go over the identities of the people just because we haven't done that. So let's go over who's in this.
In the North Atlantic for a vessel about the size of a minivan.
We will do everything in our power to effect a rescue.
The Coast Guard in Boston is Command Central. The search grid 900 miles off the coast of Cape Cod in a remote location. The military scrambling equipment to that area, including a portable lift system designed to recover large, heavy, sunken objects. Planes are dropping sonar buoys into the ocean to listen for sounds from the sub. A remote-controlled camera is scouring deep underwater. And tonight, these are the last images of the group as it prepared to dive on Sunday. On board, the CEO and...
Okay, hold on. This is them before taking off on Sunday. And it doesn't even look that nice out. Look at courtesy Dirty Dozen Productions. That's the name of their filming crew. Dirty Dozen. They're gonna be dirty, all right. Look at the weather too. It doesn't even look like it's very nice out. It looks a little rough out there. And now they're relying on a remote control camera to find them. How in the hell are you going to make ends of using a remote control camera under the water? Hello, potato. And also the Coast Guard's probably shaking their head going, why are people such idiots?
Why are people such idiots?
All right, now here's the CEO again.
Board, the CEO and founder of OceanGate Expeditions, Stockton Rush. With him, world-renowned Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nagelet, British-Pakistani businessman Shahzada Daoud and his 19-year-old son Suleiman, and Hamish Harding, a British billionaire adventurer who has also gone to space and holds 3 Guinness World Records. Friends and fellow explorers admit they're worried.
Why would a 19-year-old be on this thing? That is insane. That is insane. But my question is, I'm looking at their last names. This Dawood, whatever. Isn't there a brand like a radio or something? Isn't that what it's called? Electronics? Is this that guy? Dawood? You know what I'm talking about? Like old school, like this. Maybe not. I guess it's not him. Maybe it's a popular last name. But do you guys remember those electronics back in like the 70s? The Daewoo or Dawood? Whatever the hell they're called.
Adventurer who has also gone to space and holds 3 Guinness World Records. Friends and fellow explorers admit they're worried.
My biggest concern is that Hamish and the rest of the crew aboard the Titan are trapped in a metal can at the bottom of the ocean, where the atmospheric pressure is 400 times that of here at ground level.
Since its launch, the Titan has made more than a dozen trips to the wreckage site, with passengers paying up to $250,000. But in a lawsuit, a former employee raised concerns about the safety of that sub at extreme depths, saying that the constant pressure cycling weakens the vessel.
They already had a lawsuit from a past employee complaining about safety measures.
The dispute was settled out of court. Now, it's worth mentioning that a frantic search continues above water as well, because this vessel is designed to self-propel it to the surface, but it can only be opened from the outside. So either way, the clock is ticking.
It's designed to self-propel to the surface? It might be designed to do that, but is it going to do that? And why would they not have a safety way to get out of there? You know what I'm saying? Why is there no safety exit? In my opinion, these guys should be wearing dive suits. Just in case, right? I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but wouldn't you have like one of those suits with like where you can breathe if something happens to the thing? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like any adventurous sport that you do, you expect it to be safe. And when it's not, you're going to have lawsuits. This is obviously like experimental, you know, and I think everybody who was in there knows that. All right, let's see the sounds they're hearing. This is the latest from last night, late last night.
Now to the search for that mini sub which vanished on a voyage to the Titanic. A Canadian plane equipped with sonar buoys reportedly picked up some banging noises, but nothing confirmed yet.
The 5 people aboard.
Banging noises? Does that mean it's the... I mean, how far away would you hear this sub making... And why would it make banging noises every 30 seconds or whatever?
Are running out of time and oxygen, but an extensive air and sea search has thus far failed to locate the sub. Here is a look at the last photo taken of the sub before it slipped beneath the waves. The possibly crippled craft could run out of oxygen as soon as tomorrow. Even if it does resurface somewhere, there's no way for the 5 inside to get out on their own.
Our Samantha Cortese is here in studio tracking late developments. Sam?
Yeah, Sharon, Micah, this is just coming into the newsroom tonight. A Canadian plane picked up loud bangs on sonar in 30-minute increments. That's according to a memo sent to the Department of Homeland Security. And arriving tonight to that search site, a U.S. vessel that can recover large or bulky undersea objects, which is great news if those loud bangs materialize and everyone inside can be brought to terra firma. But were red flags ignored? Tonight, we're learning there were warning signs about the safety of the Titanic exploration vessel that's now missing in the Atlantic. The clock is ticking in the multinational race against time to find the passengers of the missing Titanic expedition sub alive. Tuesday, the U.S. Coast Guard said it's covered more than 10,000 square miles looking for the vessel carrying 5 people to the wreck of the Titanic. One of those 5 people, trip operator, OceanGate CEO, Stockton Rush.
We're excited about doing it in a way that is safe and enjoyable and engage other people in that activity.
Rush was at the helm, piloting the now lost Titan. But now there are concerns over whether he and the company ignored pleas from concerned experts to stop diving. Records from a 2018 lawsuit show a former OceanGate employee, David Lockridge, flagged potential safety problems with the hull. He claimed it was experimental, there wasn't enough testing, that hazardous, flammable materials were being used inside, and that the carbon fiber tube was at risk of imploding.
So this thing could have blown up, for all we know, because it only made it an hour and a half. We're assuming it made it to the Titanic and they got their experience. If it lost contact in an hour and a half, it could have imploded. Who knows?
Especially on repeated use. Lockridge said he was fired for not sending manned trips to the Titanic without more testing, and he wasn't the only one concerned. The Marine Technology Society, a group of 60 manned underwater vehicle experts, told OceanGate in 2018 the sub did not meet industry standards. A year later, OceanGate posted it would conduct more testing to prove the hull could withstand the pressure of the deep Atlantic. It's unclear if they did, and we reached out to OceanGate for comment. If the sub is not imploded, what could have happened? Dr. David Guggenheim, a submarine pilot, explains one theory.
Entanglement is the biggest risk to a sub. It is possible that the sub made it to the bottom and somehow got entangled and perhaps moved sideways or in a way that its transducer, which sends sound waves to the surface, was damaged or perhaps at the wrong angle that disrupted communications.
I'm sorry, but their transponder antenna should probably be a little more durable. If this thing can't roll on its side and not lose its signal, then maybe they shouldn't be doing it. And from everything that I'm hearing, this past employees fired for speaking out, I feel like these people should not be doing this any longer. And if you look at, like the Challenger exploding, when, we put these astronauts in there, a teacher and all these lay people, and it blew up. It was awful. It was unfortunate, but it happens when you're exploring the unexplored. And I feel for these people, but I also feel like they made a conscious choice. I feel for the 19-year-old because I feel like these other grown men have lived their lives. They're obviously all older, but a 19-year-old, he's still got his whole life ahead of him. And I get it's a once in a lifetime deal, but it's really a once in a lifetime deal from what we see. So we'll keep our eyes on it. We only have less than a day where they say they have oxygen. It's been 3 days. So who knows if they'll probably find this thing after we're dead and gone. And then they'll send these other subs down there to gawk at that. Think about it. We're really gawking at the deaths of all those people on the Titanic. It's cool to see. It's really interesting. And I was obsessed with it, when I was like a teenager. I thought it was so fascinating, and it is. But where does it come to the point where, this is just too much, But when you have the money and you can do these things, and you take the chance to do them. But I think this company is really their POSs, in my opinion. I don't like what this company is doing, and I don't think they should be able to do it any longer. I think they've been using people to get the money to fund this project, and I just think it's wrong. I think it's unethical that they've been warned, that they're settling lawsuits out of court. I just don't like it. So we're going to move on from that. That's the latest. We're going to wait and see what happens. So we don't know if they were picking up on anything. And if it is just lodged somewhere, maybe they can find it. Because if it got lodged that soon after going down, maybe they can locate it. I don't know. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the Portland, Oregon. 6 women found dead in 6 months. And here is the sister of one of the girls, real quick.
I do think the police are working their individual cases seriously. And I think that they are trying to make sure that, they keep the public from being too freaked out about a serial killer. But either way, women are dying, and now, the numbers are just rising.
So these women, okay, this is the sister of Joanna Speaks, and she was killed by an unknown attacker in April. And she thinks it's a serial killer, but she thinks that police don't want the public to flip out. And we have Kristen Smith, Joanna Speaks, Ashley Reel, who were all ruled a homicide. And this is her sister, Joanna. And this is the only one we really know about the cause of death. The other ones, we don't know the cause of death. So let's watch this right here.
Loss without answers leaves emotions on high.
Uneasy, horrified, heartbroken.
Ariel Hamby's stepsister, Joanna Speaks, was an Oregon mother of 3.
She was an amazing sister, a wonderful daughter, a great, fantastic mother.
Speaks was found dead from a homicide in April, becoming one of 6 different women in the Portland metro area, all under 40, discovered dead within 100 miles of each other just weeks apart, leaving the Pacific Northwest in fear of a possible serial killer.
5084 en route to Southeast Dev Road.
It starts with 22-year-old Kristen Smith, found February 19th in Southeast Portland. April 8th, Speaks is found on an abandoned property, dead from blunt force trauma to her neck and head. Weeks later, on April 24th, 2 women's bodies found on the same day. Charity Lynn Perry and an unidentified woman believed to have been Native American, who police say showed no signs of foul play. April 30th, 31-year-old Bridget Webster discovered on a rural road. And just 1 week later, 22-year-old Ashley Reel, last seen on surveillance at a restaurant, found dead in a heavily wooded area. The various police departments and agencies investigating now working together to see if there's a link between cases.
What are they specifically looking for to see if they're all connected?
One of the main things that they're going to be looking at is the manner of death and the weapon. If that's consistent across all of these victims, that would be a huge point.
Portland.
Okay, so they're not giving the cause of death, and they're not saying when these people died. So we don't know. The only thing we know is about the one, the sister that came forward. She had blunt force trauma to her head and I guess marks on her neck. But nothing else has been released. So I think that's really interesting that they're not saying, what manner they were killed, because maybe they were all killed in the same manner. But we don't know that. And we also don't know when they were killed or how long they're presumed to have been in those wooded areas. They were all discarded in the same type of wooded areas. And this story is brought to you by Flo, One-Eyed Flo. I did put a community post. Make sure you guys check the community to ask what you guys wanted to go over today. And these were the 2 cases that you guys chose. So Flo, thank you for making yourself known in the community post. So you guys, I don't know. And the cops aren't wanting to say if they're related or not. Here's another report.
In the last several months, 6 women 40 years old and younger have been found dead in wooded and secluded areas.
So 40 years or younger, and they all are brunettes except for this one girl. She's more, auburn, ginger, but still darker hair.
First of these deaths starts with 22-year-old Kristen Smith from Gresham, a loving sister and daughter who was obsessed with her cat Echo and had a talent for doing makeup. She was reported missing by her mother, Melissa Smith, in December last year, but Portland police say her body was found just 2 months later in a wooded area near Southeast Deerdoff Road and Southeast Flavel Street on February 19th. A few weeks later, on April 8th, the Ridgefield Police Department and Clark County Fire Rescue responded to a report of a body near an abandoned barn on South 5th.
And look at how sketchy these areas are. Like somebody's putting them in these areas like this. Look at that. I mean, this is in the middle of nowhere.
A few weeks later on.
Dumping her there? And I wonder how she was found. Who found these people in the woods so quickly? It makes you wonder. Like, they're talking about how they were found, like, boom, 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 right? How do we know the person finding them isn't the perp?
The devil is dancing
April
tonight.
8th, the Ridgefield Police Department and Clark County Fire Rescue responded to a report of a body near an
Clark County. Oh, make it make sense.
Brian Koberger.
Abandoned barn on South 5th Street in Ridgefield. The Clark County Medical Examiner's Office determined this was a murder, saying the body had likely been moved to that property. They've since identified the remains as 32-year-old Joanna Speaks, who is remembered by her family as an outgoing sister and mother of 3. Her family says she had no connection to the area, so how she ended up in Ridgefield is a mystery to them. Come April 24th, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says they found the body of 24-year-old Charity Lynn Perry under suspicious circumstances near Ainsworth State Park. Crime Stoppers of Oregon have offered up a $2,500 reward for any information leading to an arrest. That same day, an unidentified woman between 25 and 40 years old was found dead near I-205 and Southeast Flavel Street. The Multnomah County Medical Examiner's Office is asking for the public's help identifying her and provided this sketch. They say she was possibly Native American with medium-length black hair and about 5'1". At the time, they say she was wearing a long-sleeve green T-shirt, a black and white jacket, and black and white Adidas cleats.
Cleats? Wait a minute. The one that they think is Native American was wearing cleats? Why would she be wearing cleats? And why do they show her in a gray hoodie if she wasn't wearing a gray hoodie?
Provided this sketch. They say she was possibly Native American with medium-length black hair and about 5'1". At the time, they say she was wearing a long-sleeve green T-shirt, a black and white jacket, and black and white Adidas cleats. She also had 2 tattoos pictured here, a black music note with the letter V on her chest and the Buddha on her back. On April 30th,
Would a Native American have a Buddha? Would a Native American have a Buddha? Homeless? All she had? You think she was homeless? I just wonder if Native Americans would have a Buddha.
County Sheriff's Office found the body of Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster from Milwaukee. She was found on
From Milwaukee? But she's in Portland?
Road near Mill Creek and is known to visit the Portland area often. A week later, on May 7th, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says they found 22-year-old Ashley Rial's body in a heavily wooded area near Eagle Creek. She was reported missing on March 27th. Almost all the agencies involved, including the Multnomah County and Clackamas County Sheriff's Offices, have confirmed investigators are working together to determine whether there's a connection between these cases, but haven't so far.
Oh, I bet they know a lot more than they're saying. You would, Little Boston? Okay, I didn't know. That's why I was asking. Possibly homeless and only shoes she had, golf shoes, soccer shoes. We don't know how old she is. Oh, Milwaukee, Oregon? The killer might be a truck driver, says Apache. Very possible. Milwaukee is a suburb of Portland. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I just have to say, Flo, that I researched this and I put in like Portland, Oregon deaths, things like that on YouTube. My God, is it bad there? I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But these are all seemingly, they seem more related, whereas the others are, you know, drug deaths and things like that. But it is absolutely a mess in Portland, Oregon. And I'm sure that's really sad for people who have lived there, you know, their whole lives to see it become that. Right. I wasn't sure, Mac Pride. I don't know anything about that, so I just thought I would throw that out there. The highways are from west to east. There's no telling. I mean, but why? It's just weird that they're all found. Like, why would you have them all and then like they all are found like boom, 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 boom? I guess we would need to know, see what we're missing is how long they've been there. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Native Americans would honor the Buddha. I mean, why is that so funny? Because I say what people think? I'm really curious. I mean, I don't know. They weren't even missing for that long, though. So I don't know how it could be a sex ring thing if they weren't missing that long and then they're found deceased. So we don't know anything about their background. We don't know the cause of death. We don't know anything, but we do know that the women there need to be careful. So when it's nighttime, if you're in this area, if you're anywhere, be aware of your surroundings. Don't be alone. Don't, just be cautious as well. Because they said that person could also be Alaskan. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're Native American. Did LE just link them or FBI possibly holding something back? They're keeping the details of the cause of death and everything close to the chest. So they're not releasing that information. And it's probably because there is some kind of connection between them. All right, so I've got another video to show you guys. This is body cam of, and warning, it could be a little disturbing. This is body cam of a Florida officer getting sucked into a drain pipe during highway flooding. Okay, this was in Escambia County, which is up in the Panhandle. And this is Deputy William Hollingsworth body camera. And it shows what happened and including the period he was swept away together with the man who was caught up in the floodwaters. They were sucked into a drainage pipe and were swept underneath the 4-lane roadway of Highway 98. They were submerged for approximately 30 seconds and traveled nearly 100 feet underwater. The two eventually resurfaced on the other end of the roadway, lucky to be alive. Let's watch this dramatic footage here.
With several disabled vehicles here in front of Sherman-Williams on 98.
Holy shit. Holy hell. Whoa.
Oh, Jesus, buddy. Hey, David. David? David. Can you believe what just happened to us? You okay, buddy? Can you believe what happened to us? Oh, just breathe. Just breathe, buddy. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Thank you. Oh, I died too, buddy. Suck me in.
Wow.
Oh, my God. You go through that? I did. I never held my breath like that in my life. I mean it. Oh, God, come here, bro.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 337. I'm alive. Lord Jesus, I didn't need that for allocation. Oh my God. I'm alright, man. No, I don't want to get sucked down again. We're staying put. We're going to walk on this. I fought it for a second.
They are so lucky.
I saw you go down now. What happened? Hold on. I said I held on. It was like,
No, they haven't found the vessel. If you're just joining. I know the way they embraced.
Over there, and I was having him come across, and he goes down. And I go in after him. I got sucked in the drain pipe right by that marker, and I went all the way underneath Highway 98 and got spit out. You will not. If it didn't happen to him too, I'm glad you're good. Thank you, man, for like being there when I come. I feel awful. I told you to come to me. I led you right in there. When I came out, you were right behind me. That shows, like, believe me, I mean... y'all just sit tight right here. Stay in the car. Yeah, I need it. I still got the ambulance coming to check you out, okay?
All right, so that was a Florida deputy trying to rescue a guy that was in a flood, and they got sucked under Highway 98 for 30 seconds, and they traveled all the way under the freeway and came out on the other side. That... When they came up, that was pretty amazing. I'm going to rewind and play that part again. Here is the part where they get sucked in. Look at that water, though. Watch, he just gets sucked down. And this is a long time, 30 seconds. Right now they're traveling underneath the roadway. You're going to see him pop up on the other side in about a few seconds. Oh my gosh, I know, Mary. Hollingsworth is the deputy, by the way. Look at that lightning, too. Scary.
Can you believe what just happened to us? You okay, buddy? Can you believe what happened to us? Oh, just breathe. Just breathe, buddy.
They are bonded for life.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Thank you. Oh, I died too, buddy. Suck me in. Oh, my God. You go through that? I did. I never held my breath like that in my life. I mean it.
He's like, me either.
Oh, my God. Oh my God!
Yeah, so that's pretty intense. Pretty intense. I see Angie B just put the Patreon link in the chat. If you guys would like to join, we're going to be live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for tinfoil hat subscribers and above over on the Patreon. We will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight going over Corey Richins, the fentanyl killer. I'm going to call her the fentanyl killer because I think there's a lot of like business going on in this whole case. So I am going to wrap up the stream now. I think we've gone over everything, and I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining this morning. So I will see you guys tonight at 6. If you have a problem getting into the live, remember, when the link is posted, it'll be posted right before 6 o'clock in Patreon. When you see that post, you can go into the actual post and click the link. It'll take you over to YouTube so that you can participate in the chat. Otherwise, if you just click play in Patreon, you're only going to be able to watch. And you're going to be like, where's the chat? So hopefully I will see more of you there. We had a good turnout for our second Patreon live. I'm hoping that we'll have an even better one tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And by the way, the knife sheath DNA matches Brian Kohberger.
Brian Kohberger. You know what I have to say to Ann C. Taylor?
Bring it on, woman.
Bring it on, woman.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about co-burglar, and we're also going to be talking about Taylor Parker. I have a great presentation for you guys for Taylor Parker, the woman who literally took a scalpel and cut a baby out of another woman. I interviewed her ex-mother-in-law, and I'm going to be putting that into the body cam of Taylor Parker being arrested and questioned. So we've got a couple exciting days ahead of us. Hopefully, you guys will join me in the Patreon tonight. Until then, dance it out. Thanks again.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.
Like, what the fuck is this? And everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
Roberta.
And niggas like me once they get that good punani.
You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Can't stop, addicted to the shindig.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
You guys want one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
Hi, Jennifer.